Why did ancient people believe the sky was round and the earth was square? A fun dive into ancient cosmology. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a super interesting topic. Why did ancient people believe the sky was round and the earth was square? You might think this sounds a bit mysterious, but don't worry. We're going to break it down in a fun and humorous way so you can understand just how out there ancient people's ideas about the universe were. Ready? Let's get started. The ancient view of the sky is round, the earth is square. What were they thinking? First, let's talk about what the sky is round, the earth is square actually means. This phrase comes from an ancient Chinese cosmological view, suggesting that the sky was round like a dome, and the earth was square like a flat table. In other words, ancient people thought of the sky as a giant lid, covering a flat, square earth, where we mere mortals go about our daily lives. You might be thinking, hey, this sounds kind of funny, why would they think that? Don't worry, they had what they believed were scientific reasons behind it. Why is the sky round? The stars told them so. Ancient people believed the sky was round, and their reasoning is quite interesting. Remember, in ancient times, there were no telescopes or observatories like we have today. Their main tools for observing the stars were their eyes. But with just their eyes, they discovered a lot of secrets. First of all, when ancient people gazed up at the night sky, they noticed that the stars seemed to move along a curved path. No matter where they looked from, stars always traced arcs across the sky. This phenomenon made them think that the sky must be a circular dome, like a big bowl inverted over the earth. Then there's the cycle of the sun and the change of seasons. These phenomena also convinced ancient people that the sky was round. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, moving across the sky in a giant arc, much like moving around a huge circle. And the changing seasons further reinforced the idea that the entire universe was moving in a circular orbit. With that in mind, the sky being round seemed pretty obvious to them. If there had been ancient science magazines, the cover story would have been all about the evidence for a round sky. Why is the earth square? All about eyeballing it. So if the sky is round, why did they think the earth was square? This brings us to the ancient folks' amazing eyeballing skills. When they stood on the ground and looked around, the horizon always appeared flat, and as far as they could see, the land stretched out flat and even, except for the occasional mountain or river. To them, the earth seemed like a massive flat surface. And why square? Well, in the ancient Chinese worldview, a square was the simplest and most stable shape. You might say, this is too simplistic. But for the ancients, this was a very scientific perspective. Think about it, without satellite imagery or aerial photography, all they could see with the naked eye was flat land, so they naturally thought the earth was flat. And the square shape might have been influenced by traditional Chinese architecture, which emphasized rectangularity. Houses were rectangular, city walls were square, so naturally, the earth should also be square and upright to fit their aesthetic sense. Evidence for the sky is round, the earth is square, they meant business. To say ancient people believed in the sky is round, the earth is square, isn't to say they were just making things up. They had a whole chain of evidence backing them up. For example, the ancient Chinese text Zhou by Xuanjing details basic astronomical concepts and calculations. It describes a model where the sky is like an inverted bowl covering a square earth. And don't laugh, this model is actually quite vivid. The sky is like a giant lid, the earth is like a big square table, and we're like little ants scurrying around on this table. When you think about it like that, the whole universe feels like a giant kitchen, and the ancient perspective on the cosmos is like a chef looking at his workstation, round where it needs to be round, square where it needs to be square, everything in its place. Moreover, ancient people came up with plenty of astonishing discoveries through their observations. For instance, they noted that solar and lunar eclipses were due to the movement of celestial bodies, and they even saw comets as signs of cosmic changes. All these phenomena fit neatly into their the sky is round, the earth is square. Theory. Ancient observations, from naked eyes to instruments. Don, T underestimate ancient people just because they didn't have telescopes. They had quite a few tricks up their sleeves for observing the sky. For instance, ancient Chinese astronomers used a tool called a Neman to measure the height of the sun. They would also observe the sun's shadow on specific days to determine the solar terms and the change of seasons. These methods might seem simple, but they were quite effective. Plus, the ancients had another important skill: star observation. Ancient astronomers would watch the stars at night and use the changes in star positions to predict the weather and create calendars. See, they were like early weather forecasters. In ancient times, this kind of star observation wasn't just about scientific exploration, it was also closely linked to national fate and social stability. Sometimes, the roles of astronomers and astrologers overlapped. A master stargazer could not only predict eclipses but also calculate the best days to go to war. Other voices on the sky is round, the earth is square. Some ancient rebels. Of course, not all ancient people agreed with the sky is round, the earth is square theory. Take the Tang dynasty monk Yi Xing, for example. He was quite the rebel. Yi Xing was remarkable. He measured the length of the earth's meridian, and although his data wasn't as precise as modern measurements, it was quite impressive. Think about it, a monk from over a thousand years ago daring to challenge the traditional sky is round, the earth is square theory, and even attempting to measure the earth's circumference. Isn't that the kind of spirit we should learn from? And let us not forget Zhang Heng, the Eastern Han Dynasty's astronomer and inventor who created the seismoscope. What is a seismoscope, you ask? Simply put, it's an ancient earthquake detector. This was one of the earliest earthquake instruments in the world. While Zhang Heng's seismoscope wasn't directly related to the sky is round, the earth is square theory, it did show the ancient Chinese spirit of exploration in astronomy and geography. Ancient Greek philosophers, alternative cosmology, the earth is round. Having talked so much about the Chinese sky is round, the earth is square. Let us take a look at the ancient Greek philosophers on the other side of the world and see how they viewed the universe. Don't think for a second that the Greeks had any less of a wild imagination, they were just as out there. For example, the Pythagoreans proposed the theory that the earth was spherical. Why? They believed that the sphere was the most perfect shape, and since the universe was perfect, the earth had to be spherical, too. This kind of thinking sounds a bit strange today, but back then, it was a very forward-thinking idea. And then there's Aristotle, who wasn't just a theorist, he was a hands-on kind of guy. By observing the curved shadow of the earth on the moon during a lunar eclipse, Aristotle deduced that the earth must be spherical. He also noticed that as people traveled south from the north, the constellations in the night sky changed, further supporting the idea that the earth was round. But perhaps the most impressive figure was Eratosthenes, who measured the earth's circumference by calculating the difference in shadow lengths between two different cities at noon on the summer solstice. His measurements were in perfect, but for his time, it was an amazing achievement. Hilarious misunderstandings about the universe. Of course, the ancient understanding of the universe was full of amusing misunderstandings. For example, in ancient China, there was a belief that the earth was carried on the backs of 4 giant turtles, which themselves stood on a giant catfish. Whenever an earthquake occurred, it was thought to be the catfish moving around. While this explanation lacked scientific basis, it did show the unique ways ancient people tried to explain natural phenomena. Another example is some ancient Greek philosophers who believed the universe was made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. They thought these elements made up everything in the cosmos and even influenced people's personalities and fates. Although these elemental theories seem outdated today, back then, they were crucial tools for philosophers exploring the mysteries of the universe. And let us not forget the ancient Egyptians, who had quite the imagination. They believed the sun was pulled across the sky each day by a sun god in a chariot, and that every night the sun god would descend into the underworld to battle the forces of darkness, ensuring the sun would rise again the next morning. This mythological explanation not only expressed the Egyptians' reverence for the sun but also reflected their curiosity about the phenomenon of day and night. The wisdom of the ancients and our reflection. At this point, you might think ancient people were kind of cute. While many of their theories have been proven wrong, or even absurd today, these misunderstandings actually show their thirst for knowledge and awe for the unknown world. They used their own ways to explain the world, and tried to understand those seemingly incredible phenomena. The wisdom of the ancients tells us that exploring the universe isn't just about understanding the world around us, but also about understanding ourselves. When faced with the vastness of the universe, ancient people expressed their awe for the unknown and their desire for knowledge in their own way. This spirit still inspires us today to explore the mysteries of the cosmos and to seek a deeper understanding. We hope today's discussion has given you a new perspective on how ancient people viewed the universe. And we hope we can draw inspiration from their wisdom and continue to explore this mysterious and full of possibilities universe. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'll be back with more fascinating science stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.